All right, who? Keep it real, guys. Who here cheated academically?
Nope. Dude, that was my jam, dude.
Strong. I like that.
Once in a while, but not really.
What was your preference? What was your way?
In Algebra 2, there was a small Japanese girl that sat in front of me. She was really smart, and she was actually a year below us. And her name was April Nishinaka, I remember. She was one of like very few Asian people in my high school. And she was so little I could see over her shoulder.
Nice.
Oh. So I just sat behind her, and I knew her older brother because her older brother went to school with my sister. So like we knew each other. And I would just lean over and then just copy her work all the time.
So she wasn't even doing it like as a teammate?
Nah.
Like
You just stole her answers.
That means for Algebra 2, you'd have to copy the graphs and everything. So.
Well, that's why it was great. I could see over her shoulder because I had to show my work.
Yeah, you copied her work too.
And I'll be like, I'll get these ones wrong. Cool. And then that's how I got through algebra.
I don't remember none of my algebra. You remember algebra? I don't remember none of that shit.
No.
You fucking throw an algebra equation at me, I'll be like, man, I don't know. What the fuck is this?
You know, it really depends on the teacher. I sucked at math up until I met a teacher in like community college.
Dude, same with me, yeah.
Yeah, for real.
And then like this old dude, and he just taught to me, and I ended up like, I went from like C's and D's in math, and all of a sudden after this guy, I got A's in math, like moving forward.
Same thing with me, yeah. The right teacher can just change everything.
is it the way they explained it, or is it the way they gave it more meaning?
You know what, for me, the only difference is that this community college teacher had explained that he used to suck at math. And I think that's all I needed to hear.
Oh.
To be honest, yeah.
It wasn't the teacher, maybe the student just got older and wiser.
Dang, that's deep.
I never had no teacher act like she wasn't born knowing all the quadratic formulas though.
Yeah, especially in like math or like sciencey. Yeah. Or like
They're so fucking arrogant.
Yeah,
dude.
it's the arrogance. It like turned me off from feeling like it was attainable to understand it. And that's all that stops you mentally, right?
Especially when you're a kid, you think, oh, I'm not a math person.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a history person. I'm an English person, whatever. But in reality, it's just like everyone sucks at it for a period of time, right? You know.
I also was did a really big cheat in Algebra 2 class. I had my buddy who was on my who wasn't on my dance team obviously in high school, but we ended up being on the same team in college. But in high school, I remember showing for a pop quiz and not knowing there was a pop quiz. I didn't study for shit. And he's like, dude, don't worry, I got you. I was like, what the fuck does that even mean, right? We're like sitting there, it's like math. You can't just get like, how do you? I got you. And then he fucking like 30 minutes, I'm just sweating balls in this whole class, and then finally he's like, and he switches tests with me. Mine's blank.
Whoa.
And then he takes my test for me in pencil.
What a fucking G.
And then when the teacher's not looking, he switches it back, and then I fucking erased and rewrote shit.
Damn.
Yeah, it was the most intense copying I ever did on that one.
Why has he hooked you up so much?
Because I'm fucking pretty cool, Bart. I'm pretty awesome to people usually.
He can't wrap his head around it. Why would a friend do that for you?
Some friends are just friends. They don't need something in return. They just do things for each other, and that's how they get things in return.
Do you still talk to this guy?
Yeah, rarely though. Anyways, point.
What a good friend,
Busy,
huh?
Daniel. Point is, there was a teacher recently who created a fairly ingenious exam question in order to find cheaters, and was able to catch 14 of 100 students.
That would have been me, bro.
What is this question? What?
14?
Are you a cheater? Yeah.
That's very good. Psychological. Because here's the thing. Nowadays, right? When we had to cheat, we're all talking about like when we were cheating, what we were doing. We're like looking over the shoulder. We're like, what are our problems? Oh, how did you recop shit? Now they have fucking cell phones. They have everything. There's a calculator. Remember, our calculators were like textbook size. Now they got fucking little. Yeah, they have Google available everywhere, and
We had to
people.
smuggle this motherfucker in our math class, and it's like, where do you put it?
Why is that even there?
And you gotta sit by the window so the solar panel could get some power.
Yo, yeah.
Look, why am I in the dark part of the class?
My battery's dead.
Or like you thought it was super ingenious the first time somebody like wrote answers on the inside of a water bottle label,
Ooh, that's a good one.
right? But those ancient tactics have all been usurped by technology.
So much easier.
Right? And it can't be stopped. So this one teacher started realizing that only on exam days, every fucking kid needed to go to the bathroom.
All of a sudden.
All of a sudden, right? Every kid, like half the class always needs to somehow use the restroom, but you can't say no, and you can't like follow into the restroom. There's like limitations to this thing, right? So his teacher thinks about this idea. He's getting fucking annoyed and pissed off. So he's like, all right, I'm gonna write this test, And then on this test, I'm gonna put down one question that is impossible to answer. It doesn't even provide it here, by the way. I think probably because it's gonna continue using it.
Yeah.
Doesn't put down the question, but goes to the websites that students often look up in order to find answers for certain quizzes and tests, because that's what people be doing.
And put fake answer up.
And then engineered a fake answer that was close enough to the truth that a student who was going to the restroom wouldn't have enough time to fully look into. And anybody who got that answer was immediately given a 0 on the test. Anybody who just got the question wrong in general was still given a score for that.
Wow.
This guy thought deep.
He went deep into it. Had his TA fucking code the answer in like these websites and shit like that.
That's smart.
And then 14 students got that answer. So imagine fucking like putting together this test and being like, there's no way anybody's gonna be able to answer this, and I'll put a fake answer online.
Especially when you have like take-home tests or whatever. Like, cause you get those in college a lot, or you have an open book test. Yeah. So that's actually fucking genius.
Do you guys think tests are even effective in helping people learn shit?
Not learn shit, but keep them disciplined. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like you have to
Teaches you consequences, and it teaches you rankings, and it teaches you that kind of system.
and to know your shit on like before the class ends.
It
I think
teaches
it
you.
depends on the subject too. So like when I was like pre-med and I was studying for the MCAT, like every single question, technically everything you need to know to answer that question is on that page. So you can't even really cheat, because it's the utilization of those tools is what you have to know and memorize, and it's impossible to like read something really quick and understand how
It's
to
not a
utilize.
cram thing.
Like geometry, fuck.
So for example, so in the like on the MCAT, it's not like, oh, here's a chemistry question or here's a physics question. It's a physical sciences question.
Yeah.
So it'll be like, let's say this light passes through this prism at whatever velocity, and then it hits this, and this thing boils to a certain temperature. What happens to this chemical now? So it's like and it tells you everything. It tells you the boiling point of the chemical here. It tells you whatever over here. But it's your grasp of the entire context that helps you solve this problem. And it's not something you can go, oh, just go fucking memorize like how gases turn into liquid or whatever here, and then memorize how things pass through a prism here. You know what I mean? So like I think in that case it works really, really well, because you know that you have to know not only just the memorization but also the utilization of it to even enter into that test.
Damn, I like smart Bart.
But it has
Yeah,
to be
I've never
smart
even
Bart.
asked that question ever in any test.
Yeah.
That was a complicated, whatever that was.
It's like it's a prism, dude.
You ever been to prison before?
They spell prison wrong.
Are you boiling light?
Yeah, what the fuck?
You ever seen how light passes through a prison? It doesn't down here.
I always forget that Bart's like really smart.
I'm not, dude, trust me.
He just goes the opposite way.
Trust me, I'm not, dude.
The best questions of the day.
I also got caught cheating in I don't know if did I mention this? I went to my cousin's wedding recently, and I got reunited with an old high school friend I hadn't seen in like 20 years.
I hate those.
Those people or those incidents?
Well, the point is, this dude who I hadn't seen or talked to in like 20 plus years, it was interesting because now as grown ass adults, and now he's like a surgeon and shit like that, right? And I'm a fucking dancer.
Fucking made it.
We end up talking, and then we're drinking at the open bar, and the next thing you know, I'm like apologizing for something that happened like over 20 years ago, and I was like,
Damn, you fucking bullied him or what?
no, why did our friendship fall off? And it's because of one moment. I was when I transferred over to my high school, I didn't have any friends. I didn't go to the junior high before or anything like that. So you know, when you randomly pick a friend, you end up like, all right, that's my close friend. This is the only friend I have. You're my closest friend. So we spent all the time together. We played Magic the Gathering in the science classroom during break. I was a fucking loser, but anyways.
That still sounds fun.
This guy was smart as fuck though, right? Still smart as fuck. And we got honors English together, and then there was this fucking this paper that needed to be due. For whatever stupid ass young Anthony reason, you know, sometimes when you copy or you cheat, you just do it the most wrong way. There's like a duh. If I say it now, you're gonna be like, duh, you're such an idiot. But for some reason, I chose to plagiarize like an entire like 3 sentences at the end, word for word it. You know what I mean? As an adult, you're like, why the fuck would you do that? But
You get lazy sometimes.
You're a bad criminal, dude.
Thank you.
I'm gonna judge you.
I'm down for Dumb Bart to come back.
Dumb Bart.
Dumb and Fat Bart.
Yeah, Fat Bart's my favorite.
But
I don't like bad criminals.
this was one of those English teachers who like it was in a very oxymoronic way. It was like a dope teacher to have, but then on the other sense, like kind of a little bit on the fucking high horse.
Little cuck block.
And he'd be like, look guys, I really like you guys, but because I like you, I have to give you the maximum penalty for this.
He wanted to teach you guys a lesson.
He needed to teach us a lesson, so took us to the principal. Both of us got a year and a half of probation.
Year and a half.
A year and a half of academic probation went on our records, so certain colleges weren't able to like use the full list. I was suspended for like 5 days for plagiarizing a couple of sentences.
But it taught you a lesson, though, right?
So why was your friend also involved in this ring?
Because it was his paper.
Yeah.
I copied off of.
Oh, they assumed he let him or something.
Yeah. Which he did, but
So he could have like not got into the college of choice. Is that why like he hated you or whatever?
he never hated me for it. But just the idea that like after that, his mom was like, "You can't hang out with Anthony," and then our friendship just like never went any farther. But it was crazy to see him like 20 plus years later and be like, "Oh, dude, it's good to see you." And obviously we're adults and nobody gives a fuck about like that moment.
Except the mom's like, you don't talk to that boy.
Shook off the bad influence, and that's why he's a surgeon and you're a dancer. He's like, I could have been a dancer.
Such a severe punishment.
The same thing happened to me.
Most severe.
That wasn't even a final. It was just a regular fucking thing.
That's gonna affect your future. That's fucking crazy.
That's how they get you.
And he's like, I like you, so let me fuck your future the hardest way possible.
But it's for your own good.
Ass.
Anthony Lee was gonna be fine. He knew. He saw the potential. in Anthony Lee.
Nah,
Never
fuck
cheated
that.
again after that.
Fuck that teacher, dude.
Jump his ass right now.
The real problem is the teacher.
Dude, when I was in 7th grade, I went to a Christian school, and I copied from this girl the
Copy the Bible.
the Bible, bro, word for word, and I said it was my own work. They're like, this is so many run-ons, dude. No, I copied her.
my word.
It was like a Bible crossword thing, and I just didn't do it. So I was like, yo, let me see your shit, and I was like copying it, and then the teacher got me, and then they suspended me for like a day, and like ever since, I just always felt bad because I was like, dude, she was like a really sweet girl, and she was like a goody good girl, you know, and her mom was like a sub at that school. Oh, dude, and like I ended up going to high school with her later, and I always felt like she still fucking hates me.
Did you ever
to this day, dude.
apologize?
Yeah, I did. But I got her suspended. I got suspended for.
She got
Why
suspended
always
too.
fucking copying from girls?
I just like, yo, give me that shit, dude. What are you gonna do? And I'd be, give me that or else. Yeah, I was a real bum.
And it's a fucking Christian crossword puzzle.
Dude, it's like I could have done it. I could have done it.
Wasn't even serious.
You know what I did? I didn't cheat, but when I first learned quotations, I was like, this is the legal way. I turned in a fucking
pretty good.
essay where the only thing original was my name and the intro. And the fucking whole body was just, we did a book report and I just fucking said, oh, you know, it's like, this was a great, you know, it was like a great moment when this happened, end quote. And then it's like 3 fucking pages. I just wrote word for word and I put quote.
And the citation.
Turnitin.com,
I got a fucking
dude.
F, obviously, right? I thought I was super clever at 6th grade because I was like, how do I fill up 5 pages? Because you know they always tell you.
I hate it when they tell you
do
that.
about this many pages. So I'm like, well, I found a way of making 5 pages.
That got me in big trouble in English in high school because you know when you were reading a book in class, every so often you had to write a paper on however portion you were on. Yeah. And I knew the teacher never read it. I knew it was always the TAs who were my friends. So I started just writing dumb shit and fill a page with just stupid shit so my friends would laugh, knowing that it was nothing about the book.
That's how I got so good
And
at
I would
writing.
just get like perfect score because they're not gonna read all that shit. So then like eventually, I guess at some point the teacher started reading those and I was already way deep in my bullshit. And I this is exactly what I wrote. This is why I got in trouble. I said like, wouldn't it be so cool? So there's a book about fucking a girl in a ship. I put, wouldn't it be so cool if you just had a gun filled with blanks and when you had road rage, you could just shoot blanks at people and scare them? That's really what I wrote. And then my teacher made me have a meeting with my parents and her to like discuss some like weird rage issue I had. And I was like, no, I don't know if it's worse to say this, but I've just been bullshitting for the whole year.
You're not supposed to read this.
So I had her look at my old papers that she never saw, and I'm like, see, I do this every time.
So why aren't you reading this?
So it got
Why
me,
aren't you doing your
so
work?
It got me out of psych eval, but I still got in trouble for like I got docked all the points from the past papers.
Oh, that's unfair.
Yeah, you could have negotiated with her.
I'm like, this is not my fault. This proves you don't read our shit.
Yeah, fuck that teacher.
Yeah, you're just a hacker that exposed the hole.
Yeah.
She should be thanking you.
That is, I do think about that though. Like, wouldn't it be cool to have blanks?